Bruh.
Guys, you just saw live footage of Nestle stealing water from us, and that is why today I will be talking about why it is absolutely necessary to boycott them. Now, Nestle is almost everywhere. They have many brands and subsidiaries, allowing them to achieve market dominance in many fields. And to determine why it is necessary to boycott such a giant company, it is important to first understand Nestle's background and the terrible actions that they have committed in the past and in the present. I will first be going over Nestle's illegal activities, then I will be going over their ethical dilemmas. An example of a legal violation from Nestle was when they illegally extracted groundwater in California without a permit in 2017, and they did so way over the federal limit. In this situation, they are basically stealing the water from the people, because we as Californians know that California is currently in the middle of a big drought, and that we do not have much water in the first place, yet Nestle still feels the need to steal water from us for their own profit, and keep in mind, once they process that water, they're going to sell it right back to us. According to groundwater.org, the over-extraction of groundwater can lead to the collapse of the soil and can lead to sinkholes, and that's why federal limits exist. In coastal areas such as California, excessive pumping of groundwater leads to seawater moving inland, which contaminates our freshwater supply. This gives us all the reason to boycott Nestle, because we need to show that we do not support these actions, not only as a message to Nestle, but as a message to all corporations and businesses around the world. One of Nestle's more recent ethical dilemmas was when they took access of a clean water source near Flint, Michigan, away from the residents. Ever since 2014, residents of Flint, Michigan have had their water supply poisoned by lead. Residents paid $200 a month for clean water, while Nestle pays the state a mere $200 per year to pump tens of millions of gallons of fresh water just 2 miles away from Flint, Michigan. This deal with the state effectively removes the access to that body of water, of clean water, to all but Nestle. And they sell that water they take right back to the residents, and the residents have no choice but to buy that because it is their only source of clean water. This is similar to what's happening with the groundwater in California, except what they're doing in Michigan is perfectly legal. Some might say that the state of Michigan is to blame here, and while that is partially true, Nestle is the true villain in this situation because they're the reason the water deal even exists in the first place. They snatched the offer to pump more water because they wanted to increase profits. If they had any moral conscience in their business practices, they would have not taken this deal to pump water and would have left the water to the people who actually depend on it, which is the Flint, Michigan residents. This gives us even more reason to boycott Nestle because they don't even care about the lives and well-being of the people. Nestle appears to be a repeat offender when it comes to the act of stealing water from others. For example, they are currently stealing water from the Ontario Indigenous people while the people do not have access to the water themselves. These people do not want Nestle to pump water on their land, but Nestle is not leaving. These people do not have access to the water on their property, and as a result, lacking clean water has become an increasing trend among the Indigenous people of Ontario, even though 60% of the world's freshwater sources are in Canada. The Guardian confirms this, stating that 63,000 Indigenous people have not had drinkable water for the past year. Nestle only has to pay $503.71 per million gallons they pump to Ontario, while they do not pay the people who actually own the land, the Indigenous people, a single penny. And that is another example of Nestle stealing water and getting away with it, and another example why it is necessary to boycott them. Nestle is by no means new to committing immoral acts. In the 1980s, Nestle got African mothers addicted to their baby formula due to excessive marketing in Africa. They handed out pamphlets to new mothers and even got doctors to urge mothers to buy this formula, despite research at the time showing that breastfeeding was healthier than baby formula. Since the formula was expensive, the mothers diluted the formula in the powder by watering it down to save money and to get more use out of each bag. According to Business Insider, this act led to over 1 million babies dying from malnutrition. You might be thinking this has nothing to do with Nestle stealing water, and you're right. But as a result of this scandal, Nestle was boycotted globally for 4 years, and as a result of this boycott, they actually decided to change their ways and they stopped falsely advertising. Now we are in a time where it is necessary to boycott Nestle again, but not for their baby formula, but for their water products instead. And that is because Nestle's business practices for water collection are not only immoral, but they are also harmful for the people and the environment as well. The consequences that Nestle will face, if caught, for stealing water are minimal compared to the harms they already inflict among their victims. And small communities are already starting to protest, but these protests are not enough to make a change in Nestle's ways because they are way too small to make a dent. And we have seen in the past that Nestle has listened to large-scale protests and their demands, so we need to do it again. Now, you may be wondering how to participate in this boycott. So, here are some brands you should avoid.
Nope. 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 Nope.
I hope the next time you're at the grocery store, if you ever consider buying Nestle or any of their other water brands, you also consider what they had to do to obtain that water in the first place, and I hope you consider a different brand as a result of that. You made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've considered what I have to say today, and that you share this information to your friends and family.